Peace be upon you, dear viewers. As we know, companions of the Prophet are warriors of Islam. Learning about them would strengthen our faith, teach us and make us understand and motivate us to work in the name of Allah. So let us begin. Sayyidatuna Khawlah bint Thalaba, may Allah be pleased with her, was from Khazraj, a tribe of the Ansar. She therefore has the honor of being a companion from the Ansar. Her lineage has been mentioned as bint Malik bin Thalaba bin Asram, one, but because of her link with her grandfather, she is called bint Thalaba. 2. Her name has been mentioned in its diminutive form as Khawlah. She, may Allah be pleased with her, is the wife of Aus bin Samit, may Allah be pleased with him, who is the brother of the famous companion Sayyiduna Ubadah bin Samit. 3. She is a distinguished figure, as Allah Almighty stated in the Quran, a solution to a problem she encountered in her marital life. She stated, "By Allah, the opening verses of Surah Al-Mujadala have been revealed regarding me and my husband, Aus." 4. Khawlah bint Thalaba lived during the Prophet's time in Medina. She was married to Aus ibn as-Samit. One day, they had an argument. Aus divorced her by tihar, a pagan custom of divorcing a wife by saying, "Be to me as my mother's back." This custom was degrading to women. It freed the husband of his responsibilities towards his wife and kids and prevented the wife from remarrying. Khawlah visited the Prophet, PPO, to seek guidance about her situation. When he advised her to be patient, she felt compelled to pray to Allah, SWT, for more guidance. Allah responded to her prayer by revealing the first 4 verses of Surah Al-Mujadala, the pleading woman. "Certainly has Allah heard the speech of the one who argues with you, O Muhammad, concerning her husband, and directs her complaint to Allah. And Allah hears your dialogue. Indeed, Allah is hearing and seeing those who pronounce tihar among you to separate from their wives. They are not consequently their mothers. Their mothers are none but those who gave birth to them. And indeed they are saying an objectionable statement and a falsehood. But indeed Allah is pardoning and forgiving. And those who pronounce tihar from their wives and then wish to go back on what they said, then there must be the freeing of a slave before they touch one another. That is what you are admonished thereby. And Allah is acquainted with what you do. And he who does not find a slave, then a fast for 2 months consecutively before they touch one another. And he who is unable, then the feeding of 60 poor persons. That is for you to believe completely in Allah and His Messenger, and those are the limits set by Allah. And for the disbelievers is a painful punishment. Holy Quran 58:1-4. Aisha, Ra, recounts the story in the following Sahih Hadith. "Blessed is the one whose hearing encompasses all things. I heard some of the words of Khawlah bint Thalaba, but some of her words were not clear to me when she complained to the Messenger of Allah about her husband and said, 'O Messenger of Allah, he has consumed my youth, and I split my belly for him,' that is, bore him many children. But when I grew old and could no longer bear children, he declared zihar upon me. O Allah, I complain to you." She continued to complain until Jibreel brought down these verses. "Indeed, Allah has heard the statement of she who pleads with you, O Muhammad, concerning her husband, and complains to Allah." Sahih Ibn Majah. Khawlah's complaint was supported by Allah. The unjust custom of tihar was banned. The scholar Ibn Kathir gives more details about Khawlah's magnanimous response in his tafsir of Surah Al-Mujadala. After the revelation of the 4 verses, the Prophet said to Khawlah, "Command him, her husband, to free a slave." Khawlah replied, "O Allah's Messenger, he does not have any to free." Then the Prophet said, "Let him fast for 2 consecutive months." Khawlah replied, "By Allah, he is an old man and cannot fast." Then he said, "Let him feed 60 poor people with a wask of dates." Khawlah said, "O Allah's Messenger, by Allah, he does not have any of that." The Prophet said, "We will help him with a basket of dates." Khawlah replied, "And I, O Allah's Messenger, I will help him with another." The Prophet said, "You have done a righteously good thing. So go and give away the dates on his behalf and take care of your cousin." And she did just that. Khawlah's story teaches many valuable lessons about women's rights and roles in Islam. Muslim women have the right to be treated with respect and justice by their husbands. Au's injustice to his wife was a serious offense in the sight of Allah, so serious that it warranted a penalty of freeing a slave, fasting for 2 consecutive months, or feeding 60 poor people. Muslim women have the right and duty to seek justice when they have been treated unjustly. Khawlah stood up for her rights and her dignity. She took action when she was treated wrongly. Allah honored her for standing up for her rights. Muslim women should turn to Allah whenever they have a problem. Khawlah's story reminds us that we should call on Allah directly. Her story is proof of Allah's statement, "Call on me, I will respond to you." 40:60. Muslim women and men should hold to forgiveness and compassion even when they are wronged. Khawlah forgave her husband and even helped him to pay the charity that he owed for his sin. She showed him compassion even though he had wronged her. She is a true heroine. Those who understood the value of this honor granted to her from the Almighty held her in high esteem. Ibn Kathir mentions in his tafsir that once Sayyiduna Umar radiallahu anhu was going somewhere with some people when she stopped him. He approached her with his head lowered and remained standing until she had finished what she had to say. She offered words of advice in an earnest manner. After she left, a person said, "O leader of the believers, you kept the youth of Quraysh standing here for that old woman." Sayyiduna Umar radiallahu anhu replied, "Do you not know who she is?" He responded, "No." Sayyiduna Umar radiallahu anhu said, "That was Khawlah bint Thalaba radiallahu anha, whose plea Allah responded to. By Allah, even if she had stayed until the evening, I would not have left until she finished speaking. She is the woman after whom the surah of Quran, Al-Mujadila, is named. Al-Mujadila, the opening verses of which deal with her situation of Az-Zihar, literally means the pleading woman.